Hey everyone, and welcome to the channel. My name is Ash, and I'm here with a review of The Bookwalker, Thief of Tales on Xbox. Now, this was released on the 22nd of the 6th, 2023, developed by Do My Best and published by TinyBuild. And I was lucky enough to be sent a copy for this review video, so big thank you to them for that. Now, TinyBuild have published a whole host of games that we have covered on this channel. Some of them I absolutely love. We're talking about Rhythm Sprout. They've done Far World Pioneers, which we'll have a review of very soon in the coming days. Spider Heck, Despot's Game, Happy Humble's Burger Farm, to name a few. Trash Sailors, Mayhem in the Single Valley. They do a whole host of awesome sort of indie games. Some of them are absolutely fantastic and you'll have all heard of. Some of them don't get as much love and attention, and I feel like this is one of those ones that's going to fall into that category. Now, this game is actually very interesting. The plot of the game is you play as a once-acclaimed writer, and you basically lose your ability to write after you're found guilty of carrying out this crime. And you basically, instead of having, you get like permanent writer's block for like 30 years. You've got like the writer's shackles on you, very metaphorical and stuff like that. So basically, he's approached by this criminal boss who offers to help free him from his writing shackles so he can write again. All he has to do is he needs to locate and steal a series of legendary items from books. And this is where the game's story is pretty cool, because you will literally dive into a whole host of book worlds, all of them different. Each of them have their own unique challenges, rules, characters, enemies, and stuff like that. And you have to find these unique items. Now, graphically, the game takes place over two different graphical styles. When you first start in the game, you're in the real world as such, like the normal world, and it's in like a first-person, full 3D environment. Looks great, reminds me of like a walking simulator or something like that. And then when you jump into the books, it ends up in this sort of like isometric, semi-top-down view where you will move around in a sort of point-and-click adventure-like manner. You can move freely around, but you can interact with objects and pick up notes and items and stuff like that. And then there's also combat, which is turn-based. And it's a very nice mix of graphical styles. It really conveys the difference between being in the like real world and then in each of the books. Now, each of the books have different quests and they're all different. So the first one, like you see on the screen right now, is right at the beginning of the game, because I don't like to spoil stuff, is like in a medieval prison, but you'll end up in like a spaceship later on and this snowy mountain as well. So there's a big variety of different environments to play through in the book world. Now, you also come across early in the game this sentient caged book page in like it's in like a little cage, and it's a page, and basically he becomes your partner in this story, and he will follow you throughout, giving you hints and tips and obviously progressing the story along. And it's honestly very interesting. It's very well done. It's not something I would ever have thought of being like this, but I'm glad I took the punt and I played through it. Now, story-wise, this isn't a long game. You can beat it 6 to 7 hours roughly, full completion in 8 to 10, depending on like how in depth you want to go. But to get that full 1000G, you're looking at under 10 hours. I really enjoyed this one. The mix of gameplay styles and mechanics and everything is really cool. The sound design is nice as well, which gives a nice variation between the real world, the book's quest zones, and also having each book look differently and being in totally different environments keeps the game feeling fresh as you progress. Now, the story is the highlight of the game. It's very detailed, being able to pick up like things from around the environment to enhance the story and stuff like that as well. And also, the sort of exploration is pretty cool because you'll have to sometimes you'll need something, but you'll have to go back into the real world to get it. So like early on, you need a sledgehammer to break a wall, and you can't get it where you are, so you have to come out of the book, get the sledgehammer, go back into the book. It's very much like a mix between the two, having to go from one to the other basically, and I really like that. Now, the downside of the game is the combat. While the turn-based combat isn't bad in any sense, it's just very generic. You don't have a lot of abilities, and you don't really gain any as the game progresses. It's very much a one-and-done sort of thing. You have like an attack that uses your like ink, which is like your health as such. Not your health, but you've got so much ink, it's like your mana. And you have one that stuns opponents. You have one that like drains ink from your enemies and refills your ink and stuff like that. But it just feels like a mechanic that's there just to drag the game out a bit longer. Whereas I feel like the game would have been absolutely fine if it had just been a like exploration, narrative-driven game without the combat, which sometimes gets pretty frustrating. And also, there are a few little bugs here and there. Now, I have seen people have worse bugs than this on Xbox, but my bugs were very minor things. But just bear that in mind. It's probably going to be patched out before you even read this review and listen to it. But I did have a few little performance issues and glitches, but nothing that spoiled the experience a lot for me. Now, the game is available on Xbox, Xbox Series X and S, and PC with Play Anywhere. Now, it's priced at £12.49, and it's also currently included in Xbox Game Pass. So make sure you check it out right now. You can play it on PC Game Pass or normal Game Pass if you don't have Ultimate. Really fun little game, like I say. Great for achievement hunters and also people that want a little puzzle game that breaks the mold that you would expect and has a pretty decent sort of narrative-driven story. So check it out. Like I say, I was pleasantly surprised. It's not what I was expecting to play at all when I looked at the pictures of it, but I wholeheartedly enjoy it. Is it perfect? No, but it's a short little story that you'll have a lot of fun playing through. But that's it for this video, guys. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, hit that like button, hit subscribe, and we'll see you soon for more content. Bye for now.